Hey y'all, welcome back to Raw and Uncut Reloaded. This is just a quick Sunday video. I will do some updates towards the ending of the video. But yeah, I just want to talk to you guys about how my Sunday is going. It was pretty rough this morning. Just to rewind a little bit of yesterday, it was tough for me towards the evening of yesterday, Saturday night. And then this morning, a little bit of what I was going through yesterday started weighing on me even more this morning. So it was just a lot. So this morning was just even more difficult because I just felt overwhelmed and I just felt weighed down with everything that, at the moment that I was just thinking about. And, of course, everything starts kind of like in the mind. You know what I mean? Like, we always say mindset is everything, and then mind over matter. And yeah, like my whole mind was just all over the place. Like, just the normal human circumstances, different things popping up, your friends, your family. It was just a lot just going through in my head. And I'm just like, man, like it was to the point where I started to cry. I started just questioning everything, questioning life. Like what's my purpose? What's the purpose of life in itself? Like, it was just so much that I was just, I was just going through in my head. I'm just like, like, I don't know what I'm doing here. I don't really know, like, my choices that I've made so far in this life, like, were those the correct ones? Like, y'all, when I tell you I was just all over the place, I was really all over the place. And like, I was, just talking out loud, just thinking out loud here in my home. And I was just like, man, like, I really just don't know what to do. The only thing I know what to do is, talk to God. And, I'm just talking out loud and just, just kind of just throwing my feelings out there. And like I said, I was just questioning everything. And I'm just like, what good is it to, go through life and, certain things that want to happen in your life, they're not happening right now. And, you kind of question like, man, is it ever going to happen to me? Whether that's, marriage, a baby, or just, gaining that healthy lifestyle that you want or that wealthy lifestyle that you want. Like, and sometimes we're also surrounded by people that, their pace is, the pace is moving and moving. And then you're like, when does my pace come along where it starts happening for me? And, sometimes, like I said, that's in the back of our heads and we just start questioning things and like, the timing of things, the choices we make, we start, thinking about the mistakes we've made or kind of like, thinking about the regrets and all that stuff too. So like my brain was just, my brain was literally in all of those places this morning. And I honestly really didn't get over like what I was feeling until like late this afternoon because it was like, it was just so much weighing on me, you guys. Like, and I just really didn't know. I was just trying to figure out how to maneuver in that moment because, like I said, it's always in the mind. What you think is what you will get. Whatever thought that comes to your mind is what you'll end up seeing, whether if it's negative or positive. And of course, it's always best to have a healthy mindset because whatever that mindset is will manifest into your, the reality of life, So it's just really important to, always have that healthy mindset, a strong mindset, a positive mindset. And I mean, at the same time, like I tell people, I am human. So sometimes that mindset, it tends to kind of get defeated, especially in the spot that I can be at in that moment of time. So yeah, it was just really hard because, like I was really like fighting myself back and forth, like you're good. And then the other half is like, no, I'm not. So like I was also even sabotaging myself and stuff like that. And like, I was just fighting back and forth. Like I had the strong version and then I had the weak version. And it's just like, they were just going at it, and mind you, like I was kind of gaslighting myself, starting yesterday evening, I was gaslighting myself, saying like, I'm okay, I'm good, I'm okay. Like, because honestly, like a part of my life, that's what I kind of had to tell myself, especially growing up and stuff. Like I would always tell myself, oh, I'm okay. Or like I'll just push my feelings under the rug, or, I'll just bottle up all those emotions instead of embracing them and like expressing them. So that's pretty much what I was doing starting from yesterday. Like I was just literally just bottling up everything. And I was just telling myself, like, no, I'm okay. I'm good. Like, we'll get over this. Like, it's nothing. And like, yeah. And I'm just like, no, like the other half of me was like, no, it is something. Um, it is like what you're feeling is real. Like what you're feeling is the truth of you, like, so it was just hard for me because like I said, I was just fighting back and forth. Like I was just like, so my brain was just like, just everywhere. Just like, you get to a boiling point and just poof, all of the, everything is just exploding. So like, and it exploded into me just crying. Like I was just crying, like tears are just flowing, and like, I'm trying to talk to God too, but like everything in my mind is just like, oh my God. And then sometimes you're like, God, do you even hear me? Like, do you hear me? Because, and God is God, and God just be doing what he be doing. So sometimes, you do feel like, he's not hearing you. But for sure he does hear you, and for sure he does see your tears. Sometimes it takes a minute for what you're asking or wanting or praying for to, come into your life, but it will definitely get there. And sometimes, I do forget how great our God is, and that, nothing is too, nothing is too tough for him to do. Like, we, some of us, depending on what religion you guys are. But for myself, I do believe in God, and, just knowing that he can make the impossible possible. And I forget that as well. Like I tend to forget that like our God is like super phenomenal, and he can do anything. He can change anything, your situation, your problems, your mind, your heart, So I be forgetting that sometimes, y'all. Like I ain't gonna lie, I do. And sometimes I do question, like, like, hey, like, where my piece of the pie? You feel me? Like, where my little chunk at? But, just because there's a delay doesn't mean that there is a denial. You just, we have to remain strong and patient. The patience game, I've probably talked about this before on my page, but the patience game is not an easy one. It is super, super tough. And you just have to remain strong, and all of this is really just, like I said, I have to remind myself constantly, like, remain strong, remain faithful, stand on it. But like I said, I'm human too, and so sometimes I forget. And today, like, I was just really in my head about everything in my life. Like, I was just really in my head about just everything, like, even the future. And that's something that, we shouldn't do. Like, we shouldn't really focus on the future, just focus on right now, which is the present moment. And sometimes I'll be thinking about that. But the good thing is the choices that we make now in this present moment will give us that fulfilling future. And that's why it's best to stay present in this moment. And like I said, all of this is just recollecting itself in my mind and in my heart. So yeah, it was a tough morning, you guys. Like I said, I was crying, I was bawling tears, I was snot nose and all. Like, and it's crazy because I would have showed y'all that side too, but I was just like, I was just so in my head. And I know, raw and uncut is raw and uncut, and you guys will see some crazy things. But I was just, I was just in my head, you guys. I was even in my head about, just everything, life itself, because I'm like, all I want to do is be successful. Right? All we want to do is be successful. All we want to do is fulfill that life that we have prayed for, we've cried for, we've talked to God for, we've talked to our closest friends about. Like, we all want to fulfill that sustaining, beautiful life. And we will. We just have to remain strong. We have to remain healthy, especially up here. It's really a mind game in this life. Like, it's really a mind game. And that mind has to be healthy as don't know what. It's kind of like the saying, you are what you eat. Whatever you feed your mind, that's what you're going to get. Whatever you feed your heart, that's what you're going to get. And we have to remain healthy on all aspects because we are what we think, we are what we speak. And we have to speak, obviously, light into ourselves. We have to speak, light with our words, So it's definitely a mindset thing. And I was really struggling with my mindset this morning. And I'm just so grateful for, being surrounded by friends that, they can also speak life, into me as well. And that's another topic for another day. But definitely surround yourself with people that are assets and not liabilities. You always want to have assets around you, people that can, people that you can learn from, that you can really take advice from, but also that will uplift you and push you forward. That is super important. But like I said, that's a different topic for a different day. But you guys, yeah, like I was struggling, and I'm not going to lie. I just don't want to show you guys the upsides to my life. I also want to show you guys the downsides to it, because this is real life. We are living real life. We are living certain struggles. We're going through certain storms. And like I said, I want to be able to share those with you guys, because today I felt like I was alone. That's another thing. Like today, I really felt alone. I felt by myself today. I felt like I didn't have anyone to count on or look to today. And my one friend, she was there for me. And I'm just grateful for her. But other than that, I did feel alone. I felt like God wasn't hearing me. And that's another thing too. He is literally right here present with me. And I just have to remind myself that, I'm not alone. But yeah. And just so you guys know, you guys are not alone. You guys are not struggling alone. You guys are not going through this storm alone. You literally have God, and you have that healthy and that positive mindset. You have me too. But yeah, you guys, just remain strong. Continue to keep that mind and your heart healthy, you guys, moving forward in this beautiful life. We don't have a bad life at all. We have good lives. We have, thriving, blooming, blissful lives. We have amazing life to live, you guys. But yeah, I just wanted to talk to you guys about that, because I was struggling, and I just wanted to share that moment with y'all, because, I love y'all so much, and I thank y'all so much for just supporting me and just hearing what the fuck I gotta say. Yeah, I just appreciate you guys. But yeah, so update. So I am literally still working through getting the podcast set up, decor together. I'm super excited because so far I got my little things coming in, my mics and stuff like that, and I'm excited because it is literally going to be amazing once the podcast jumps off soon. And I just can't wait to drop all these topics on you guys, so you guys can just hear and relate, and we just have a good time just thriving, and just, learning and uplifting and just being happy. So the podcast is definitely coming along. Like I told you guys before, I will be making a podcast decor video, so you guys can see the setup of how it's coming along, and the end goal of it. I will be dropping the video of a day in my life sometime this week. So just bear with me on that, because y'all, I'll be moving around a lot. Like my job, I don't just stay at home. I'll really be outside working. So I'm really just trying to get all these clips in there together, so you guys can just really experience my life from your point of view. But yeah, so those are my updates. Sorry. Those are my updates. But I thank you guys in advance for just, tuning in, subscribing. If you haven't subscribed yet, definitely do that. And yeah, thank you so much. And I'll be talking to y'all soon.